There has been a little bit of a snafu going on in that the ex-FBI chief, James Comey, has apparently called for the assassination of Donald Trump. Now, on first glance, does anyone think that's true? We're going to go with probably not. However, we are going to get into it just a little bit because it's funny. And the reason it's funny is because, let me put it to you like this. The entire time Joe Biden was president, there were people who were doing and saying extreme things that were very similar to this. And most of the time, the vast majority of the time, even if they called it crass, they were just like, it's a joke, bro, or, you know, it's just, it doesn't really mean it. And so James Comey posts, do they actually have the post on here? No. He posted, because of course they don't actually have the post. Why would they actually have the post? That just, it's fucking news. Why would they actually have the post? Oh, because it might show that he's not a fucking moron. Let me see. All right, Fox, lay it on me. Shut up. I don't want to hear your stupid ass. There it is. There it is. There it is. So they don't post the picture. They put it in their stupid ass report for like 3 seconds. Is it on here? There it is. Okay. So this... Really, guys? Really? Okay, there we go. Anyway, so as you can see, it says 8647. Fuck you, Fox. This is why I never watch your shit anymore. Fucking garbage ass pieces of shit. Anyway, so basically it was a picture that said 8647. Now, if you're not aware, 86 is a colloquial term in basically pseudo-modern media, and I use pseudo because it's not a term that's been used regularly for at least a decade or two, as far as I know. But it used to be like gangster lingo or cop lingo in like TV shows and shit, and basically it meant to disappear, murder, or kill an individual. So you 86 someone, you get rid of them, right? You know, take care of it, 86 him, you know what I'm saying? But the problem is that everyone knows this. Longwood, greetings and salutations, my friend. And so essentially it also has connotations that are, I'm not going to read this. I'm literally just using it as a backdrop to talk about this thing because, you know, Fox can fuck off. The reason I use them is because they had the picture and it's an article. But it's also got some connotations from, is it down here? No, it's connotations that 86 is not also a murder or kill thing. It's also a remove. So in different contexts, 86 can mean remove from an area without like killing or violence, right? So you could 86 a dude from a bar and basically that's you kicking him out, right? Something like that. 86 a dude from a stadium because he's acting like a drunk dumbass. That's kicking him out of the stadium. So there are connotations in which you could use this to potentially, especially when it comes to the president of the United States, be used for removal from impeachment or getting him to resign, or just after his 4 years are up, he leaves. Yep, from all the famous steakhouses where it started in NYC. Cheers. So the reason I'm talking about this is because people on the right are red team, excuse me. People on red team are absolutely losing their goddamn minds. It is insane what's going on. And there is an interview with Tulsi Gabbard, of all people. She is the director of intelligence now, I think. Did she did an interview on Fox where they said they're going to investigate Comey, which, by the way, because the president of the United States is a very important figure, anytime anyone, specifically the former director of the FBI, says something that even ambiguously talks about killing him, they're going to investigate. So here's how I'm breaking it down. Is it retarded that a lot of people on the right are making a big deal out of it when many of them have made similar jokes / similar statements that could be ambiguously taken to mean either to put out a hit on someone or simply to mean I want them removed, right? That is essentially what it boils down to. I found her stupid ass tweet. James Comey just issued a call to action to murder the president. I do not agree. As former FBI director and someone who spent most of his career prosecuting mobsters and gangsters, he knew exactly what he was doing. I do agree with that. I do agree that James Comey knows that 86 does have that ambiguous meaning, that it means both, that it can mean both things. There was a video of a World War II vet shooting a Tesla with a Sherman and the whole fighting Nazis again. Man, the people who are telling you who to shoot are long dead, and it shows. But yeah, because he knows the ambiguous nature of what it means, and him being a former FBI director, him making such a statement is worrisome. And this part right here, fully support the Secret Service investigation into Comey's threat, I'm going to use quotation marks, on President Trump. They're all being crazy about this. And it's funny to watch because I am the kind of individual that's like, all your sacred cows are not sacred to me. And I will make fun of all of them. So I've had quite a few people show it to me and I just laugh in their face. Because like we had dudes putting like stickers with Joe Biden tied up in the back on the back of their trunk, on the back of their truck. So it looked like the tailgate was open on their truck and Joe Biden was tied up in the back, right? Stupid shit like that. That's funny. It is funny. It's funny. What would be even funnier now is if somebody had two of them where you had Joe Biden on one side and Trump on the other. That would be goat. That would be goat. But you gotta have the truck nuts though. Just saying. If you're gonna go full redneck, you might as well just fucking lay it down. But anyway, so in my opinion, do I think Comey knew what he was doing, and that his intent was in fact to spread the message of, kill President Trump? I do believe that that's what he was doing. However, because of the ambiguity of his statement, that does not mean he could be potentially prosecuted for it. Simply because of its ambiguity, he has enough wiggle room, especially considering that he retracted the statement and said he knew it was a political statement, but he didn't understand exactly what it meant, and he took it down once he was informed of what it meant. I don't necessarily believe that. Again, I believe he was doing a thing. But the thing about it is that we do have freedom of speech, and much of that shit is protected under the First Amendment, as it should be. As it should be. So the only thing that's really going to happen, most likely, is the Secret Service is going to investigate. They're probably going to wag their finger at his ass, and then nothing else will happen. Now, Tulsi Gabbard was talking a big game on Fox News about putting him in jail because there was a dude who was making death threats against her that they put in jail, which obviously, if you're making death threats against anyone, you should probably be in jail. And the dude is waiting trial. So I'd seriously doubt Comey's going to get arrested. I seriously doubt they're even going to press charges. They might try, but I don't see it going anywhere. But I don't really see it going anywhere due to the fact that of the ambiguous nature of it. So again, it feels like to me, he knew what he was doing. But the ambiguity of, here it is.
Are you buying that the former FBI director didn't know what 86 Trump meant?
Absolutely not, Jesse. That is a ridiculous and insane statement to make, certainly.
I would agree.
Within this context, but especially coming from a guy who's the former director of the FBI, a guy who spent most of his career.
I didn't realize what he actually posted. Look, it says cool shell formation on beach walk. Oh yeah, he's definitely trolling the fuck out of us.
Career prosecuting mobsters and gangsters, people who know and execute other humans, and use this exact lingo of 86. Comey himself admitted in his follow-on message that he knew that this was a political statement. Well, the only reason he knew that, Jesse,
motherfuckers talk
was
too slow.
because a little over a month ago, a bunch of anti-Trump,
There we
anti-Elon
go.
Musk
That's a little
protesters were proliferating the use of this 8647
I listened to it in
slogan,
double, so.
which was a veiled call to action to murder the sitting
brain.
president of the United States. So for Comey to think that we, the American people, are so stupid as to think that he, as a former FBI director, former prosecutor, and someone who clearly pays attention
187 is another big one. Yes. And what is it? MDK?
to what's going on, would believe his lie that he didn't
Yeah, MDK 187. Isn't that from Demolition Man? Or it's I can't
know
remember.
what this actually was calling for.
I remember
The
seeing that
dangerousness of
popular
this, Jesse,
media.
cannot be underestimated. When we have 2 assassination attempts on the president's life.
See, this is the problem, right? This is the big deal. The real difference in this, because I'm laughing at this too, because this is fucking funny to me. Because the right is clutching their pearls. Oh my God, he made a death threat. It's like, yeah, it kind of looks like he did, or at least a very, very veiled one that was ambiguous enough to where there's probably nothing you're going to be able to do about it, right? The difference between the two, like when motherfuckers on the right were doing stuff like this to Joe Biden, nobody had actually tried to kill Joe Biden, and there have been 2 actual assassination attempts on President Trump. So there is a difference in these two. But still, it's very funny.
When we have people who look to guys like Comey, who've been celebrated by
it is,
MSNBC and the Democrat elite and CNN as the beacon of integrity, the law and order guy, the guy who would tell the truth no matter what the consequences. This is the guy who's issuing a hit on President Trump, the president that the American people voted
Like,
for.
roll
So it's
my
guys
eyes
like
more.
Comey and others who call the president the modern-day Nazi, people who are in great positions of influence, who are saying that President Trump poses an existential threat to our country.
I mean, she's not wrong when she says those things, but I do believe the framing is a bit off, because there is this whole, like, I've talked about it before, where there's this whole like veil of, you know, he's the next Hitler and everything is Nazis, and it really is one of those things where I keep talking about, once you call your opponent a Nazi, you can't go any further. They're already as extreme as they are. And so when they open their mouth and they tell you their policies and they tell you what they're going to do and they show you what they're doing and they don't actually look like Nazis, then you look like an idiot. And so I do believe that a lot of the people on Blue Team have basically gaslit the fuck out of themselves into believing that Trump is a legit Nazi and that they have to do something about it, right? And so the vast majority of intelligent individuals understand that it's a little bit of hyperbole mixed with a little bit of truth, and that it's simply a thing to get people, you know, on side and riled up and, you know, active. Whereas the problem is that it's just like calling people fucking commies and shit without actually explaining what you mean when you do it, because essentially you are advocating for people to use violence against them, because that's what because actual real Nazis cannot be reasoned with, right? They already have all the right answers in their brain, just like a lot of extremists. And so you cannot reason with them. So they will commit violence against you based on their worldview. And so the only way you can fight a Nazi is literally to use violence against them. And so like I said, there is a bit of difference in this, in that when you have done such hyperbole and then you have assassination attempts on top of it, this creates an entire air around the subject that just is extremely scary when it comes to these things. And so I just wanted to highlight the fact that she was.
These
on
are people
here
who hate
talking
democracy
about
and hate
this.
the American people because they cannot stand that the people overwhelmingly chose to elect Donald Trump and send him back to the White House. So they are seeking other means to get their way and to try to remove him from that position.
How serious is the administration taking this, and what are the next steps going to be?
We're taking this very seriously. As you mentioned, the Department of Homeland Security,
Here we
and
go.
specifically Sean Curran, the current Secret Service director, a man who has been willing to lay down his life as the lead of President Trump's Secret Service detail for years now. He takes this seriously and is leading the investigation into this threat. There has to be accountability for this. There was a Rutgers study that just came out a little over a month ago, Jesse, that asked respondents their view on these calls to assassinate President Trump. And over 55% of respondents felt that murdering President Trump would be, quote unquote, somewhat justified.
Yeah. So I 100% am in favor of the Secret Service investigating this, because if you threaten the president, you should be investigated by the Secret Service. Even if it's ambiguous, even if it's a troll, even if it's a joke, there should be an investigation, right, to make sure that that's all it is, right? That's all it is. So if there's an investigation and that's all they find, then nothing will happen, right? But imagine this. Imagine that you have James Comey being a dumbass and he's got some kind of evidence on his person, in his computers, on his phone, that he is actually advocating for this and he has been talking to people about it. Well, that makes it completely different, right? That's when something might happen. But if this is the only thing that he's done is troll with the 8647, like, I'm going to tell you right now, this is definitely something that I would do. Especially as a younger man. As an older man with a family and kids, I probably wouldn't do it simply due to the fact that I don't want to give them grief when I don't, because I don't care. I don't give a fuck, dude. I live in Tennessee. You want to come cause trouble? It's not going to end well for you, right? It's just not. So I don't care on my own part. It's my family that really boils down to. Anyway, the point is that I would absolutely have done something like this because, we're not nice boys here. We're not nice boys. And I have for a long time, pushed the... I can't spell his fucking name for the life of me. This guy. I love this guy. I love him so much because he represents exactly how I feel about a lot of these things. Just, I really don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Quit clutching your pearls and shut the fuck up. Sid Vicious, by the way. From the fucking Sex Pistols. And so, of course, there should be an investigation, and they'll probably find nothing, and then that'll be it, right? They're probably not going to arrest him. If they do arrest him and they don't provide any more evidence that he's done anything more, it's gonna turn into an absolute shit show. Absolute shit show. There'll be a theater, nothing's gonna really happen. If he was the acting director, it'd be a whole different. If he was sitting on NDAs on steroids, he's a private citizen, he absolutely control. Yes, he can. He absolutely can. You should know. You should look up the whitest kids you know sitting on murdering the president. Shit on murdering the president. Wait, what? You should look up. Is that on Twitter? There's a sketch about... Oh, wow. I didn't know that. YouTube. Oh! Gotcha. Let's check it. Let's check it. So... Pimp pun disaster. Oh my god, really? This is... Homeless love at first sight. Oh my god. I am gonna lose my mind. Okay, I am absolutely gonna save this for later. I need to watch some of these. These look like they're gonna be funny as shit. We're probably not gonna watch them on the stream though, because unless they're doing some kind of like news thing, or specifically they're talking about it in a way that, because I don't want to stream somebody else's hard worked content just because it's funny. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we'll keep that off the side. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this up because it's like to all the people screaming on Red Team about assassinating President Trump, fuck you. To all the people on Blue Team screaming about how the all this is authoritarian, blah 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 blah. Yeah, fuck you too. You get exactly what you deserve when you fucking play with fire. Same with fucking Red Team. You get exactly what you deserve when you play with fire. And so, essentially, this is just a whole lot of stupid shit that's not going to amount to anything. Red team is trying to use it to make blue team look bad. Blue team is using it to make red team look like authoritarian shitheels, which some of them are. A lot of them, maybe. So it is absolutely 100% troll worthy. I recommend that you troll the shit out of everybody on every side because they absolutely deserve it. Oh, because let's put it like, let me put it to you like this. Unless the Secret Service comes back with some like hard shit that they have found that shows that he is either trying to goad crazy people into assassinating the president. Oh. Hey, my sub can drive. Thank you, sir, for the 16 months. Dude, appreciate it, buddy. Pow. Cheers, man. Ah, very much so. So where the fuck was I? So yeah, unless they find some like seriously hard evidence that Comey was either trying to like get people to, give me 1 second. Throw that blanket around. Anyway. So either if he's trying to get people to rile people up and they find evidence of that, which obviously the former FBI director would never leave evidence of that unless he's a fucking moron, which God, I hope he's not, because that brings about a whole nother ball game. But it is funny how many intelligent people do really stupid things, right? Including myself, you know, not to toot my own horn or anything. But I seriously doubt they're going to find anything. And if they do end up arresting him, they better have some really fucking hard evidence. Because if they don't, it is going to make the whole Nazi thing stick even harder.